Hey everyone, welcome back to the second episode of In the Driver's Seat. I'm Antonio.
I'm Sean.
Ben.
So we just took the cars out of the museum and now we're going to drive them back to car storage and come along on the ride with us.
Yeah, this is exciting. We were talking about this the other day, cars that we get to drive.
We were. So
I was
we're
talking
very excited.
specifically about the Carrera GT and how badly I wanted to drive that.
But you get to drive a 918 instead.
Yeah, I get to drive the 918.
Yeah.
I'm super excited
Maybe on another
about
episode.
Maybe.
The Carrera GT.
It's like we're so close to getting to drive the Carrera GT.
But so far away.
But this is going to be epic. It's a dream come true for me, so it's going to be fun.
Absolutely. We got a great crowd here. We got a lot of people
Yeah.
along the route.
And we have quite the cars. coming
Yeah.
along.
Yep. Joel came down to drive the CLK GTR all the way from Westport.
That's going to be
Thankful
cool.
for that. So I think we're ready to roll.
Yeah, we're ready to roll.
Let's do it.
Let's go, guys.
Thing is absolutely surging.
Like, this is work. Like, I'm getting paid to do this right now. It's absolutely absurd.
Beautiful day to drive, I'll tell you that. Okay, here we go. Getting in and out.
We made it. You make it out, Sean?
Not easy.
Oh, wow.
That was,
So, welcome back. This is our second episode of In the Driver's Seat with ABS. And we just came back from a really fun drive.
Legendary drive.
A legendary drive.
that was one of those days where
That was a
you wake up and you're like, oh yeah, I'm doing that today.
Exactly.
It's like, no problem.
Not a bad
Yeah.
Monday. Not a bad Monday.
No,
that was,
not a
was
bad
spectacular.
Monday. So we just came back from the museum. We just wrapped up our What's the Super and Supercar exhibit. And the
Bittersweet.
Yeah,
I miss
bittersweet.
those cars, man.
One of my favorite exhibits that I've ever seen at the museum. And for the first time in a while, the three of us actually got to drive cars. I mean, obviously we love driving cars, and I think that was a really good treat for us and something that I was really excited about. I don't know about you guys. I did not sleep the night before because I was so excited.
I tried to forget about it because it's, you know, one of those things where you always wonder if you're going to drive these cars, especially, you know, the hypercars, the cars that...
He's bragging because he got to drive the 918.
Not the Carrera GT,
Yeah,
though.
well, I was going to say, I also feel bad that
You put it right there, so I have to look at it.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm looking at you, but I'm really looking
All
at
right,
the Carrera
yeah,
GT.
no, I understand. Eyes up here. Eyes up here.
But no, it was, you know, when I was driving that, all I could think about was when those the trifecta came out, the P1, the LaFerrari, and the 918, and I never thought I would drive one of these cars.
It's funny, Sean. I'm looking in my mirror from the Black Series at the 918. I'm thinking, wow, Sean's driving like one of the fastest cars in the world. Then I realized whenever we're bringing lap time in the Black Series, it's like 14 seconds shorter.
know, it's
like
crazy.
it's crazy how far we've come. But you know, we've all driven a few of these cars, and it's always a great experience. But to look in your rearview mirror, to look to my right at one point and see you guys like just sitting in normal traffic, you know, beach traffic in Newport was just absolutely absurd. It's one of those things of like out of a dream, you know.
I was laughing when we were passing First Beach. I was, you know, we were in the beach traffic, and I was just looking in the mirror, and I just see Donald in the Veyron.
Yep.
The CLK, Joel in the CLK GTR. You know, the Ford GT, David driving the Ford GT, Ben driving the Enzo. It was just like,
It's absurd.
what's
man.
happening?
It was
Yeah.
absurd. Yeah, I literally had to pinch myself at one point because I just did not believe it.
I was like focusing on driving, but I was also looking at, just because this was like, you're never going to see that again.
No.
No.
I think so. To go back a little bit, normally when we do an exhibition changeover, a lot of times it's in the winter,
Right.
Or it's in the colder months and there's salt on the road. So cars will usually get trailered, or they'll be put in a reliable truck,
Yep.
and they'll just be sent directly to the museum.
Yep.
So being that this changeover is right at the start of summer, we were able to actually get these cars on the road.
Yeah.
And normally when that happens, we'll just drive them
That's right.
the quickest way to storage. But we actually had a whole route that we planned out.
Yeah.
And
lot
it
went into
was a
this.
good 15,
Yeah.
20-minute drive, and we put it out on our social media. And there were, at the start of it, when the cars were coming out of the museum, there were at least 150 to 200 people outside of the museum waiting just to get a glimpse and hear these cars. I remember David was saying, oh, the next car coming out is the Enzo. And I think every single person there went, oh, the Enzo, because the Enzo sounds, let's be honest, the Enzo sounds.
One of the best sounding cars we have.
It sounds so good.
Yeah, that was an exciting moment when the Enzo started, because I was outside.
Yeah.
And with that tube exhaust, it absolutely just rattles the building. It reverberates everywhere. And just seeing everybody's reaction, it's almost refreshing in a way, because we do this as work, so we have to be focused and in tune with what we're doing.
Yeah,
we're not fooling around.
When I was pulling the Enzo out,
you were driving.
When we were pulling all the cars out, it's usually, like you were saying, we're either trailering the cars if it's the winter
months. It's just a few of us.
And there's just, we try and keep it minimal to ensure nothing happens. But with the amount of people outside because of the cars that we're bringing, you're like really, you don't want anything to happen even more.
Don't crash this car.
Don't crash this car. Any little thing can happen.
Yeah.
But fortunately, we're experienced in the fact of getting these cars out. But you just have so many eyes, so many cameras.
Yep.
If any little thing happens, it's going to go on social media.
Yeah,
it'll be like the next
want
TikTok or whatever.
All over.
But I remember just feeling focused, even with everybody around, because we've got a small team. We all know who we are. We work really well together. We're almost like family. And even the extra energy of all the people being there, it just felt like we were working. It was, but it was great to have everybody there and to for them to like feel what we feel as we're moving these cars out. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and the volunteers, obviously, the regular group of volunteers that help us usually with these changeovers, as well as all the other events that we do.
Yeah.
We have a core, really strong group of volunteers.
Yep.
I think it was exciting for them too, because they're the ones who have been talking to the large numbers of patrons that have been coming through the museum.
Yep.
And
then they finally get to
hear the cars, experience.
Yeah.
Then we will talk about it in a little bit, but we even drove some of these volunteers in some of the cars during the parade, which to me was one of the most fun parts.
It's a nice perk. A lot of these volunteers give us a lot of their time. They're the ones pushing the cars.
In the trenches.
Yeah, in the trenches, talking about it on the floor, and really spreading the word, the grassroots way. So, to get them that experience is really cool. And we've got a great core group. And it's funny because this is our 25th show we're rolling into. So we try to create some sort of routine, as odd as that sounds, but I don't think there's anything routine about what we did just now. That was just.
I think it was really special and a dream come true for the three of us, and
I couldn't have even dreamed about that, dude. Like when I started at the museum, I would have paid thousands of dollars just to sniff one of these cars. Never mind sit one. Never mind drive one.
It's so funny. I remember the first time I saw a Ferrari Enzo in the wild. It was like probably the only time I actually saw someone
Ferrari Enzo
driving a Ferrari Enzo. It was probably like 2005.
Wow.
And it was in New Jersey, and we were at a Land Rover dealership on Route 46 in northern New Jersey, and across the street was Paul Miller Porsche, the old Paul Miller, and a guy pulled in a red Enzo, and like literally a highway across was Land Rover where I was, and I ran across the highway, jumped the barrier, and I was like, I can't. Is that like because from a distance you're not. That can't be an Enzo. So I jumped over the barrier, ran over. My dad probably has no idea where I am at the moment, and it was just sitting there. It was an Enzo. I think I may have a picture of it on my computer when I saw it, and then I remember the guy started it, and I was like shaking.
Was it like that loud as the one in the museum was? Are they all?
Me,
I don't think I've heard that many.
That was the first one I saw. So, and I was 15-year-old, 14-year-old.
I'm trying to imagine like 15-year-old Sean waddling across the 5-lane highway. Like,
I literally ran across the highway to see an Enzo. That was relatively new car then, and
it's like seeing a Valkyrie today. That's like seeing a Valkyrie going to a dealership today or something.
And there was no, I think then too, there was no social media, there was none of that stuff. There was Facebook, but there was no Instagram, there was none of this. I just happened to come
I believe it was
across an Enzo.
MySpace back then, Sean.
Sean was blogging it.
It's like the only way to share it is like I pull out my pictures and show my friends I saw an Enzo in the wild. but in that moment, I was like, I'm never going to drive this car. I'm never going to sit in one.
No.
And then, of
No.
course,
Yeah.
I look in my rearview mirror driving a 918,
Yeah.
and there's an Enzo.
Yeah.
And a CLK GTR. And
I
so-
started to get into it when we were coming back from the beach. I'm literally saying to myself, like, I don't believe that I'm
Yeah.
getting paid for this
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
And, you know, there are, you know, moments like that I think we all share, you know, when we're working here. It just seems somewhat abnormal.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because, like, there are so many kids that were on the route.
Yes.
We're talking like
So many people.
hundreds of, you know,
Yeah.
12 to 18-year-old kids who are just like getting super enthused about
Yeah.
cars. It's like there's an opportunity
Yeah.
out there for kids like that.
well, I just-
whether it's at the museum or at the
If
track
we're
or whatever.
able to do this,
Yeah.
let's be honest.
Yeah.
Look
If
at
you-
Antonio.
us three are,
Look
you
at
know,
he made it on the
there's
he made it
there's
big
hope
time.
for there's hope for the kids though.
Absolutely,
And it was
dude.
funny you
Yeah.
say that because I was driving by First Beach and I saw two kids on a bike and they
Oh,
were
I saw
all
them,
about
yeah.
it.
Yeah, and they were
And
moving
then,
too.
yeah, they were
catching up with
moving.
us.
And then at the end of the route, I saw them towards the end of. They biked all the way from First Beach,
Yeah.
almost to car storage,
Really?
Yeah.
and saw us at the tail
yeah.
end.
Oh
Yeah, they
my
got they got
gosh.
all of us. Well, I just
Good for them.
before we got
Shout
out
out
of
to
the
those
cars.
dudes.
Yeah. Before we got out of the cars, I just looked at my phone and I looked at the Audrain Instagram and all the
Dude, it's
posts
blowing up.
that people are tagging us in, and all like already these people have uploaded these pictures of us
I know.
driving these cars, and I think anytime you get to be in a supercar or drive a supercar, it's a special experience. But the three of us really got to drive some special cars. You got to drive the Black Series.
What
I
an
got to-
unbelievable
yeah,
car.
I got to
All
drive
these
the
cars.
620R, and Sean.
I got
mean,
to drive the 918.
Sean, you're never gonna drive that car.
It's my favorite car.
You were-
In that same Porsche dealership I was telling you about where I saw the Enzo, that was the first dealership I saw a Carrera GT
Wow.
for sale on the floor at a Porsche
And then you
dealership.
haven't been able to drive it, but you did get to drive its
drove the
younger
918.
brother.
Dude, I'm literally sitting in the car looking back, and I said on camera, I said, "Oh, poor Sean. We didn't get to drive the Carrera GT," and I like.
You're like, poor me. Yeah, I'm
like,
driving
what
a
am I saying?
918.
He's driving a
no.
918. But,
No, but why don't we talk about the cars? I mean, why don't we talk
Well,
about
what was the 918 like?
Well, the 918 was nuts.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
It's like,
The funny thing about these, again, the car came out in 2014, 2015.
it's like 8 years old.
Yeah, 8 years old, but you look at it, you drive in it, you're sitting in it, it feels like a car that would come out today.
Yeah.
You know, the dash is all digital. It kind of feels like a take
Way ahead of its time in terms of
And
design.
just the driving experience. I mean, we
How's the power delivery?
we didn't really go after it.
Yeah.
But I didn't go after it.
It's only a 25 mile an hour zone, so.
Yeah, you could just tell, you just 30%, the thing just, it's with the battery, the hybrid, there's no delay. Oh yeah, it's really cool. You hear like the little electric whine, and there's no hesitation. I mean, once you put your foot on the accelerator, this thing, whew, it's loud, the whining of the electric motor.
Do you like the
makes-
electric sound?
In that I did.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I have Teslas,
Yeah.
and it's fine, but this
What it-
is
like, what
a
does it
completely
sound like?
different acceleration.
Is it like a
Yeah, I mean, I can't do. I know,
Do it again. Do it again.
Yeah,
That's
just
it.
like that.
That's it.
But with the exhaust right behind your head, when you're accelerating and the shift is pa,
It hits, huh?
Oh,
It's
just-
instant?
It's an epic.
I can't
There's
believe-
nothing. And the crazy thing about this car,
Yeah.
I've driven some of the older supercars.
Yeah.
The more analog cars, not the Carrera
Not the
GT.
Carrera GT, no. Maybe one day.
Yeah, not the Carrera GT, but other analog cars, and this is livable. It's
Okay.
a livable car.
Okay.
It's a car that at low speed, when we were in traffic, I talked about it when we were driving. It's like, I could drive this car in traffic. I wouldn't want to get in and out of it every day. I got a little bad bod, but when you're in it and you're driving it, it's a very comfortable car. It's enjoyable to drive.
Mm-hmm.
The handling is spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have any criticism about it, and again, I didn't go after it, but you can just, the thing has so much power. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
And just the fact that we were driving it, and I just couldn't get over the fact that, I'm driving 918.
Yeah.
But you can just tell how comically fast this car is. And that's the only way to describe it, is it's comical how fast it is. Definitely a very special place to be. Definitely an experience I'll never forget, and grateful for that. And yeah, just further cemented my love of Porsche.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I say it all the time. Porsche's so good. I hate that I love them so much because the conversation
it's like so
always comes back to
cliche.
Porsche.
I know, it's almost like so cliche. It's like, oh, what's your favorite brand? I'm
Yeah, it's like, well, I love a Porsche 911.
Porsche, because they are just so
They're so good.
I think
They're
there's
so good.
there's a, not to stray off topic, but I think there's a reason why there are so many of them on the road is because they're such good cars.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Consumer Reports has rated them, at least I don't know if it's this year, but last
Very
year
recently, yeah.
was the most reliable luxury brand, and I think that speaks for itself why there's
You're
so
right.
many of them.
You're right.
Yeah, when I buy a Porsche, I look at Consumer Reports. So.
I don't have one. That's why I have Consumer Reports.
Yeah, the Consumer Reports review of the 918 was
Yeah. It really convinced me.
spectacular. Really convinced me to buy it.
Yeah. The Boxster 92, I don't know. But no, I mean, they're endurance tested. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like they're
I know,
just so reliable. You put the money in, they return the favor.
Solid,
So.
and they're so much fun to drive.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just nothing like it.
Yep.
And now we're on to some little traffic, but traffic in this car, no problem. I wonder what Ben and Antonio are talking about.
Hey! Hey, maybe if you stop slouching, I could see you better. Why don't you sit up straight?
For this? Why is this car beeping?
Well,
What about you?
Oh, all right. I was
I'm
gonna
skipping.
All right,
We're
I'm
going
Go
in
ahead.
order.
Go ahead.
So I drove the McLaren 620R. This was a really like an eye-opening experience for me. The last supercar I drove was an AMG GTR Pro, so more or less similar to this. And I was saying on the drive how I felt like I was cheating on Ferrari. I've never driven a Ferrari.
So I feel like I'm cheating on Ferrari because, you know, I always talk about how Ferrari is my favorite car company in the world, and I've never actually driven a Ferrari.
And being an Italian born in Italy, I was like, please, Italian gods, don't criticize me for driving, you know, Ferrari's
for you.
enemy, the
They're coming for you.
McLaren.
Yeah.
But I had so much fun. I think that was the most fun I have had in a really long time.
She spins the tires. You can tell that the tires are cold.
I got in, I pressed the button, it roars to life. I'm like, yes, the moment I've been waiting for. It was like my origin story.
Yeah.
And I think you told me that I was going to lead the parade, and I was not expecting to lead the parade. So
Well, you're the A. The B can't lead the
that
parade.
is true.
The
That is, A comes
Yes.
before B, and a lot before S. So I'm glad we know our alphabet.
S for sweaty.
Yeah.
He did have to change his clothes.
Yeah. Well, listen.
So we get going, and I remember when we filmed the review video of that car, and it's a lot different from the passenger seat than it is from the driver's seat, because I had ridden in that car, I hadn't driven it before, and I get in, and that car is so raw. I mean,
Track car.
Yeah,
100%.
most modern supercars are pretty, I don't want to say tame, but there's a lot of luxury features, and
Correct,
there's
yeah.
leather all in the interior, and there's comfortable seats.
They're livable.
Yes.
That's the only
Yeah.
way.
I don't think you could drive that car every day, and that's what I like about it. It's like a super bike or something like that. You can't ride it every day.
I drive every day.
Look at this guy.
I know.
Put a roof rack on it.
Show off over here. But we get going, and I mean, I was amazed. I always see these videos, people talking about the roof scoop,
Right.
and I could not get over the induction noise of the roof scoop. And I get going, and then the film truck was in front of us, and I was kind of elastic banding a little bit back and forth. Kind
25,
Yeah.
15, 25. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Feeling the power, and I couldn't get over the sound of the exhaust when you would downshift and it would pop. And it's so loud.
It does pop. You shifted one time and it.
did you hear that pop?
Yeah, yeah.
Man.
And again, like Sean said, all the people lined the route, and these kids were. Everyone was so excited.
That was my favorite part about the whole
Yeah, that
thing.
was cool.
Was just
To see-
seeing the
to see
kids'
these
reactions
cars.
and like chasing us with
Yeah.
phones, dude.
And I was having so much fun. It was great. It was so much fun. And
Antonio's at Monaco in his mind, like, oh
I
shit, I
was.
got to turn
I
right
was.
onto Paradise.
I was. And I couldn't get over how good the steering was. I
Yeah.
feel like on a lot of these cars, the steering is almost dull. But I had so much feedback through the steering wheel.
Yeah.
And I mentioned during the video, I said that I love analog cars, like how you said, but the gearbox in the McLaren was just like, it was perfect. And I also liked how when you would downshift, if you were too high in the RPM range, it wouldn't downshift to save the engine, which I think is smart. I mean, you wouldn't, you play a video game, you can just downshift and upshift as many times as you want. This felt like a real life Forza or Gran Turismo.
Have you driven anything that has felt close to that experience before? Because I've moved that car around just a little bit.
Yeah.
And even you mentioned starting car and it comes to life.
Yeah.
That car vibrates
Yes.
more than any other modern car that I think I've felt.
Yeah, I couldn't get over the vibration. I mean, that would probably be one of the reasons
Yeah.
why I don't think you could live with it
Yeah,
every
there's
day.
no sound end.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Nothing.
You get to a red light and it just.
Yeah. What about those seats, dude?
So those are the Senna carbon bucket seats.
Yeah.
And you look at them, they don't look comfortable.
Right.
But honestly, they
like
are
them?
insanely comfortable.
Good.
They hug your body.
Yeah.
You are so in tune with what's happening. I don't even know why they put a radio in the car. If I had that car, I would not listen to the radio. I would
Yeah.
just go through the gears, enjoy
Yeah.
the engine.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, when we got to the end of it, I said to myself, "Oh man, I can't believe this is over," because I was having so much fun. I was so in the moment, and really just wishing it would just keep going and going and going. And I was so thankful to have that experience.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people can say that they were in? Well, they drove a rare supercar, but were also in a parade with the Enzo and
Leading
the
a
Ford
parade.
GT. Yeah, I know. I looked in the rearview mirror at one point, and I saw you in the Black Series, you in the 918. I saw Donald in the Veyron, Joel in the CLK GTR. I saw David in the Ford GT. I saw
Mercer was in the
Ben in the Enzo, and I was lost for words.
I can't wait to see the
In Rhode
video
Island.
stuff. Yeah, in Rhode
Yeah,
Island.
in
yeah,
Rhode Island.
We're not out on, Highway 1.
Yeah, this
know,
isn't
whatever.
SoCal.
Yeah.
I mean, I was.
It's starting to
it's-
be though. I mean,
Yeah.
we're like we talked about in the last episode.
coming.
Well,
It's coming.
Also, the piggyback. I mean, there was a bunch. I saw a guy in an M4 CS, I think, and
Yep.
there was a
There was a
GT3 RS,
GT3 RS,
and a
there's
couple other cars
Aston
following.
Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the Aston Martin F1
What is
edition.
that? Yeah, F1
that's,
edition?
That's a really cool
Great car.
That's
Great car.
They use that as the safety car in Formula One this year.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Or at least one of them. And
Speaking of safety cars,
yeah, you're driving the F1 safety car. How was
Dose
it?
of vitamin C. This car is, I don't have a word for it yet.
I saw you flying up behind me a couple times. It looks
25
menacing.
comes quick, but
Yes, it does.
let me tell you, I think the one word is competent and just confidence inspiring. The McLaren is exciting. I think it's a thrilling car. Obviously, the 918 has all the torque in the world. This is a Mercedes.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's
Yeah,
not.
it's a Mercedes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We'll work on that one. But it's really down to earth. Like everything feels so solid and just rooted into the ground. It doesn't feel like you're ever going to lose, any of that confidence, at any speed. And obviously we didn't get going that fast. But all I'm thinking is, Jesus, it must feel exactly the same going down the back of the ring at 175 miles an hour.
Yeah.
With the wing adjusting, and there's, something on the dash that tells you what the wing and the front lip are doing at different times.
Whoa, really?
I don't
yeah,
think-
that's what we were talking about. We were
That's
like,
cool.
This car specifically, with all the downforce, we were like, it's great at 60, 70, 80 miles an hour, but
Yeah.
150,
Just lose itself
160
to the
miles
road.
an hour, the thing is probably playing
I can't imagine what that would feel like. I remember the first time I drove my BMW 135 at a good rate of speed and thinking, oh my God, it really wakes up above a certain level. I don't know what that level would be, because at 80, it's still just hanging out.
Yeah.
Even you get into the boost a little, pull a couple gears, and it's just doing this little morning stretch type of routine. but everything
And the
about
car
it is so solid. There's no frills about it. It sounds like a McLaren with the flat plane crank.
Yeah.
It's got all the grip though with the Cup 2Rs. Like, are those the stickiest tires on the market? They have to be. All I could hear was pebbles. Obviously, I didn't have the radio on. I looked at one point. I said this on the video. T.I. Rihanna, Live Your Life, happened to be on Sirius Radio. Live Your Life, T.I. and Rihanna. I don't think we've got a better song for the moment. Perfect. It was like God shining down, you know.
That's funny.
You know, from 2007
Yeah, and like you said,
or whatever.
14 seconds faster around the ring.
14 seconds.
And,
Yeah, that's
and
insane.
this was $1 million.
Yeah, and all you got to do is
And
stick a big wing on it, I guess.
This is a $400,000
Yeah.
car if you get it at sticker, and $1 million car, and again, not.
The amount.
And three bozos driving
Three
it.
Porsches driving. Listen, speak for yourself, buddy. But it's crazy how far we've come. And yeah, I drove Omid's one of our museum members, his GTR Pro as well. And that had, to me, it had more feel, but it
Yeah.
didn't have the confidence.
Okay.
This,
I think his car sounds better than this.
well, it doesn't have a flat plane crank, so it's got
Yeah.
that Mercedes kind of grunt.
Yeah.
But this feels so much more.
Like a race car.
It's a race car. There's no, I don't have the words yet. I'm literally at a loss for words for it. Wow.
I couldn't
It's
get
so
over
good.
the styling when I would look in the rear view
Yeah.
mirror.
It's right.
I mean,
it's hunched.
You know, if you look at it and you're standing up, yeah, it's a cool looking car.
Sure.
But when you're driving something like that and you're already really low to the ground and you look in the rear view mirror and you see it coming and you see this gaping mouth, I mean, that is an extremely aggressive design.
Yeah.
If I was on the highway and I was cruising in the left lane and that came flying up behind me, you bet I would get right out of the way.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
scary coming behind
Definitely.
It was
you.
funny because I was behind you. You were obviously leading. And
Yep.
I think I made a comment when driving. I was like, about the wing. I was like, you could have a family of 8 eat Thanksgiving dinner on that wing. And the wing on the Mercedes is, you could fit a family of 8 around it and have Thanksgiving dinner. Because it's just the biggest wing you've ever
could.
seen on a car.
You
It's huge.
And yeah, and I think circling back, a lot of the, we not only us got to experience driving the cars, but we had some volunteers as well as.
And our
we
friend
had-
Owen.
We had
Yeah,
our friend
yeah.
Owen with Donald, if you want to
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about that.
So Ben, you and I met Owen at Cars
4
and
years
Co-
ago now.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I met him 4 years
Yeah,
ago.
wow.
He was 13 years old,
Wow.
and he was this car crazy young kid who knew everything about everything.
Yeah.
And you know, he was always there. You know, I always say hi. He had a great attitude.
Yeah.
And I think when I asked him when he was 13, he said, "Yeah, I've always dreamed of riding in a Bugatti."
Yeah.
And it was one of those things that we kept in the back of our mind.
Yep. And then you and I talked to him at Cars and Coffee at the Polo Fields at the end of last summer of 21, and we were talking to him, and he said, "I really want to ride in a Bugatti. I mean, it's my dream to ride in a Bugatti."
Yeah.
So the last week before we did our drive today, I said to Donald in our meeting, and I said, "Hey, why don't we?" You know, we're taking these cars out. They're going to be exercise. We're going to go on this amazing route.
Yeah.
Why don't we call up Owen or his mom at least, so it's a surprise, and get him a ride?
Wait,
And
was it a surprise?
it was a total surprise. So,
No, dude, I didn't know
that either.
Yeah, it was a surprise. He didn't know. So
No
she
way.
texted me when she arrived, when everyone was outside of the museum, and she said, "Hey, we're here. Where do I meet you?" I said, "I'll come to you." So I went over to them, and
That's crazy.
she said, "Oh, you know, do you want to tell Owen why we're here?" And I was shocked. I thought she would have at least told him. And I said, "Hey, you know," and of course he's standing right by the Bugatti, and
Wow.
I said, "Hey, do you know why we're here?" And he goes, "No, you guys, you know, you're taking the cars out of the museum." And I said, "Yeah, and you're gonna ride in the Veyron with Donald." And he looks at me and is.
Dude, no way. I had no idea it was such a
He
surprise.
didn't. He was so shocked, and
He seemed shocked. When I went over
he was
to him,
absolutely shocked. He
Yeah.
had no idea that
Yeah.
he was going to ride in his dream car. What an experience for him.
When I went over to him, it almost seemed like it was like,
Yeah.
you know, Owen.
he couldn't.
I
speak.
didn't realize.
He was shocked.
That's unbelievable.
He was really he couldn't believe it. And then, we got in the car, and then we did our drive, and then when we came back to storage, the smile.
Dude, he was lit up.
he was
The
loving it.
smile on his face was, for me, yes, I was so excited to drive the McLaren. It was great to do the drive.
Yeah.
But for me, that was the
Best part of
my
the day.
happiest
100%.
moment of the day, because, like you said, maybe sometimes we get a little numb to being around this stuff.
It's work.
But that reminds you of how lucky we are to
Yeah.
be around these vehicles,
Yeah.
and how much you can make an impactful moment on someone's life,
Yeah.
and really bring them the joy of cars. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why we're all here, really.
Yeah.
I can't believe you didn't know about that. That
I
is
didn't know about it.
absurd.
I
Yeah.
can't wait to see, the video of him in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Because I know when I was, we were getting him out of the car. I remember I was like, first of all, I was like, did you put your deposit on it?
Put your deposit.
And no, he had a good laugh, but he didn't want to get out of the car. I mean, I don't blame him.
Yeah.
You know,
my God.
that's a core memory for, I would say, the rest of his life. I mean,
Yeah.
It was.
I mean,
that was a cool
there are a
thing.
few moments, never mind cars, never mind Bugattis, but there are a few moments in your life where you experience that level of shock.
Yeah.
Like, just touching on that for a second, I thought he knew about it. And even so, that's a huge moment for someone who hasn't
Yeah.
been in a supercar like that. But to just be thrown into a car like, yep, you're going in this in 5 minutes. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what I would feel
your
like if I was
dream
17.
car. I mean, your dream car could be a Super WRX. That would be a lot more obtainable to ride in than a Veyron.
Dude, even still, I remember
Yeah.
riding in
Yeah.
my friend's dad's Maserati when I was 12, and it was like, it was
Yeah.
shaking.
Yeah.
That was the same thing with me.
And I knew it was
Third
coming
grade.
for hours.
Yeah, third grade. I had the bet. I had a friend whose dad had a '64 Corvette. And
Yeah.
I would like beg him to take me.
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
and
yeah,
It
yeah.
was like, for car people, it's
You can't
It
describe
doesn't
it.
get old.
There's no
Describe
words
it.
for it. There are no
to
words for it.
the dismay of our parents and friends and girlfriends, the car conversation
Girlfriends.
never.
Well, Barry's
he's
married.
but
You got a girlfriend.
Yeah. Well.
I do the car thing.
all right. Well, the car conversation
Yeah.
never ends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it never ends.
And another great part of the day was Anthony, Steve, and I think Brendan, some of our core volunteers. They also got to ride in the cars with us and experience
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
the cars. I think Steve went in the F40, Brendan went in the Enzo,
Yep.
and Anthony went in the Ford GT.
Yeah.
Again,
and
all
Louis went in
super-
the Miura.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Louis.
Yeah.
Louis went in the Miura. So everyone got to be in.
That was really special
cool
for me.
cars.
We work really closely with these guys, and we really rely on them for a lot of things, and they donate their time to us. So I think to give them that unique perk of
Yeah.
the cars are leaving, get
Yeah.
in and don't ask questions type of thing.
Yeah.
Is a really special moment for us, and to be able to provide that for them after they've given us hours of their time. They were boots on the ground for Motor Week. They gave us
Yeah.
They took
40
time
hours
off.
in 4 days. type of
Time
thing.
off work.
Time off
Yeah.
work, time away from their family to be here and help.
That was a good
It's a
treat
Memorial
for
Day
them.
weekend.
Yeah.
They didn't have to be there type of thing.
No.
And
No.
to see Steve's face and Louis's been dreaming about a Miura ride. Seeing him hang his phone out the window taking pictures was just
Yeah.
it means the world to us, and it's just grateful to be
Yeah, I
able to
think
share
this
that.
is going to be one of those we talk about
Yeah.
for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Days, weekends.
Yeah.
Situation.
This one's not going to die down soon.
No.
We're still. My phone's still pinging on the Instagram. We're still getting so many
Yeah.
mentions and whatnot. It's just someone sent us a message on Instagram. Top 5 moment in Audrain history. It's like
Yeah.
you think about it. It's like we've done so much. We had the veteran car tour, 2 motor weeks. We've had 25 exhibitions, and people love supercars. It really makes a true heartfelt
Makes
impact in
everyone
people's
happy.
lives.
Kids.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
It's just they're so visceral.
Very nice.
Great success.
Yeah.
Everyone loves them.
Oh God, what a day, dude. I'm maybe I'll wake up tomorrow and be able to describe it better with real words, but
I don't think so.
Do you want me to pinch
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Pinch it, pinch.
Ow.
But yeah, I think that's a good place to bring this to a close. I think we had a great a great day.
Unbelievable.
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 There's no-
I can't wait to get back in that McLaren again. I had so much fun. I think it's the same
Right.
for both of you.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
not
gonna go
allowed to
drive
get
the Ford
No,
GT.
Sean.
Or the
No,
Carrera
sit down.
You're
GT.
not allowed
sit
to
down.
get in the
Sean,
Carrera GT.
Sean.
Get
Oh,
away.
okay.
Yeah.
Wrong key.
Wrong key. Jesus.
So,
Maybe next Supercar exhibition.
so I hope you enjoyed this video as much as we did. I think we had a lot of fun today. Please like and subscribe. Catch us in the next episode of In the Driver's Seat with ABS. And then let us know in the comments what your favorite supercar moment is, or if you attended the Supercar drive and you got to see some of the cars on the road, what your favorite moment of that was. And enjoy. You can cut the and enjoy.
Enjoy.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to the latest episode of In the Driver's Seat with ABS. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment, and hit the notification bell. It really helps our channel grow and reach a wider audience. In our next episode, we're having a special guest, Ben Teradash, who is a good friend of the museum, has a really interesting career, and we're also going to be playing a game with him on the show. So we really hope that you tune in to our next episode. Thanks so much for watching.